Yo, what's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back with another YouTube video, and this time we're going to be using a BARB Hut recruit deck. I don't know if you guys have seen this deck about a year and a half ago. It was meta, and then the BARB Hut got a nerf, and then it was kind of bad, but now it's back for a couple of reasons. BARB Hut got a pretty decent buff. It spawns 2 barbs now when it dies, and I feel like it's going to be back in the meta. I mean, I don't think it's going to be OP, broken, or anything like that, but it's going to be back in the meta. But this specific deck, I think, is really strong, especially in a lot of matchups. You just have the Firecracker and just the recruits, a bunch of annoying cards, and sometimes your opponent just can't defend. You overwhelm them. This is just the type of deck that it's kind of like an overwhelm deck. You're not getting much of your damage in single. You're mostly going to be getting most in double and triple because the deck is pretty expensive. And yeah, you just kind of overwhelm your opponent, and it's easy to play. That's another thing that's nice about it, because you guys sometimes like me to use decks that are easy to play. This is really easy to play, even easier to use than like Golem in my opinion, because all you really do are just placing cards and like Royal Recruits in the back, like BARB Hut in the middle, and then just trying to overwhelm your opponent, and that's all it really is to it. So yeah, let's just get into the first game. I also want to add, I won a GC with it. So it's good on GCs too. I won a GC 2 days ago with it. So it works in GCs and ladder, I feel like. So we could just go ahead and split archers in the back here to start the game off. I don't like to make a big starting move. Like, I don't really like going for BARB Hut first play. Just because it could be a little risky. I feel like if they just Golem right after that, it could be kind of annoying. But it looks like this guy could actually be using a Golem deck, which is fine. You just want to save their BARB Hut until they Golem. So it looks like he's gonna Mega Minion. Hopefully the Firecracker stays alive here, like it pushes itself back. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna live, so that means it's probably gonna be annoying for him to stop. We're gonna go for a Barb Barrel just to get like a little tank down, and then also we could just Goblin Gang here. He just uses BARB Barrel, so he's not gonna have anything for it. And just the nice thing about the Firecracker, it's just really annoying, because Log, BARB Barrel, and that kind of stuff don't kill it. I'm gonna go ahead and BARB Hut here, and he's gonna Golem, so I guess that was okay timing, but it's a little bit unfortunate that I decided to play it in the left lane where he's going in for Golem push in the right now. So we're gonna need to get a Firecracker down here. Hopefully the BARB Hut next set of barbs can spawn in the right lane, and then it'll also have 2 barbs when it dies, of course, after the bounce. And then we'll go for BARB Barrel here. I really hope it can spawn 2, so nice it did. That's actually going to be pretty helpful here on defense to have an extra 2 barbarians. And you can see that's the exact reason why, in my opinion, the BARB Hut's just a lot better right now. Just having those 2 extra barbarians, so like people can't, because what people used to do is when the BARB Hut was about to die, they could send in like a Hog Rider or Giant at the bridge immediately, but they can't do that anymore because of the 2 barbarians. So it's so much more defensive in my opinion. The other thing about it is spells like Lightning don't do that good against it. BARB Hut's 7 elixir, Lightning 6. BARB Hut stays alive and still spawns a couple sets of barbarians, and then 2 when it dies, so no spell really gets too much value against it. Of course, spells like Fireball don't either, so good Fireball there for us hitting everything. And like I said, this isn't really a deck that you're gonna like take their tower. Even in double, you don't normally take their tower. It's a deck where you typically eventually take their tower in triple. It's not one where you're looking to like be super aggressive. You just want to cycle cards in the back. And in some matchups, like you can see in this one, I'm not even using my battle ram that much, and that's sometimes what you have to do, because you know, if you go in for battle ram, like in this specific matchup, I'd be giving him kind of value from Baby Dragon Night Witch, where I feel like I'm getting a lot more out of my other cards. So it really depends on the matchup. You also sometimes use the battle ram to kite, but you know, it's kind of your win condition, but you can't always use it. I've even thought about potentially putting in another card for it just because of how little I use it in certain matchups. Maybe even like something like the Miner could be like a solid card to put in instead of the Battle Ram. I'm not really sure though. I haven't tested it out, but I do think the Battle Ram's still a nice card. to have in the deck. So nice Fireball there. That's going to get the Recruits and the Barbarians to the tower. And now things are just looking really good. We have so much damage on both lanes. He's barely did damage to us. I mean, it's just so hard for him to break through our Barbarian hut, as I said. And, you know, as I said before playing, most of the games are long here. Like, this one, it's about to end if we get the Firecracker connection and then just a Fireball, or maybe the Firecracker's enough. Not enough. But yeah, most games generally with this deck are like 4 or 5 minutes because you just have to be patient. You don't want to be going super aggressive. I mean, you're getting majority of your damage from just the spam of like the Recruits, the Barbarian hut. And yeah, that's going to be a good game. So, pretty nice first win. Also, another thing I want to add, those of you who don't like Expo, this does good versus Golem. It also does good versus Expo, and those seem to be the two decks people dislike the most. I mean, I don't have a problem with them, but I think a lot of people dislike them, so just want to throw that out there. It also just, the BARB hut just does good versus any win condition, kind of, except Lava Hound. Lava Hound is one of the tougher matchups, I feel like, just because especially if they have arrows, because then they have arrows for the Firecracker or the Archers, and then you don't have the best air defense. But I mean, I still think it's not like completely unwinnable, but it's a little difficult. So we're gonna see if he wants to do anything here, and then if not, we can just go ahead and split Archers. We don't want to split like Recruits first play of the game. We don't really want to go with Battle Ram in the back first play of the game. That would just be kind of ridiculous. We're gonna Fireball his Bomber. So Bomber isn't a good card, but versus this deck, it does pretty solid for a couple of reasons. Does decent versus the Barbarian hut. It does good versus like the Goblin Gang, Battle Ram, Recruits even. So it's not really a card that I necessarily want to see. And this could be a Golem Bomber deck, so we might have ourselves another Golem deck here. I'm going to set up a Barbarian hut because he doesn't have a Bomber in cycle right now. So he's going to go ahead and Lightning that. That's fine. It's not, you know, as I already said, it's not insane value to Lightning a Barbarian hut because it spawns another 2 sets of Barbs and then another 2 when it dies. So you're going to just get 4 more Barbs off of it after the Fireball. It's just not the best value. After the buff, just spells don't do the best against it. This is a good Recruit opportunity because, first of all, we have 2 split Archers. So now we have split Recruits with the split Archers. And then we can go ahead and Battle Ram this lane because he dealt damage to them. This way, we're just applying pressure. He can't ignore the opposite lane too, or else it's going to do way too much damage. Look at the other lane, guys. Recruits are kind of good in this deck. They are just really good at overwhelming your opponent, and they don't expect them to do that much damage, but it took like half of his tower. His tower's at 1,400. So that's just insane. That was from just 3 Royal Recruits and an Archer, I think. Maybe it was even 2 because the Bomber was helping out versus them. Firecracker might get a hit here. Yeah, looks like he gets 1. So he's going to go ahead and Golem. We're going to Barbarian hut a little lower because he's already playing in the left lane. So there's no reason to play it like higher up because then it'll get possibly sniped by like a baby dragon or something. Split Recruits here. And he's probably going to be coming down with a... Now this is where we want to Battle Ram to just apply pressure with the Recruits. But we got to watch out for that Bomber. In fact, I want to kill it as quick as possible. That Firecracker is going to be really annoying for him. The fact that he didn't Lightning it and the Bomb Tower, he decided to Lightning, I think, the Tower instead, which might have been a bit of a mistake, because now that Firecracker just killed everything there. We're going to go ahead and go for Battle Ram at the bridge, and just Firecracker. With the pressure we're applying here, he's not going to be able to go in for a push, and it should be game over. I mean, as I said, Golem isn't too bad of a matchup. BARB hut's just so good against it. And the Lightning doesn't really do good versus this deck either, because Lightning versus Recruits doesn't do anything, honestly. Lightning isn't really good value versus Goblin Gang Firecrackers, so just a pretty easy matchup versus Golem. And that's going to put us at 5,900, which is like 1,200. And I guess we're going to be able to pick a legendary here. I have both of these maps, so it doesn't really matter which one I choose. It's just going to be star points. And I actually have a lot of star points. I could go ahead and upgrade the Battle Ram, because it's a pretty solid card. It's used in a few different decks. Yeah, we'll just do that, and then we'll go ahead and search for the next game here. Alright, we found a game versus BX. We could start off with a Bar Barrel here, or we could go for, like, Firecracker. We could also wait for him, so he's just gonna go Tombstone. Honestly, I'm fine with fireballing that. I mean, I don't know. Then we don't have to deal with it. And if I went in for, like, a bar barrel on it, it wouldn't have taken it out, and it just could have been annoying. So he's going to have Knight. I guess we're going to cycle our recruits here. I bet you he has a graveyard, so we need to be cautious of that. What we need to do is basically just make sure we have always, like, recruits down for the graveyard or, like, a Goblin Gang and cycle, but then we need to watch out for the poison. Now, Lightning doesn't do good versus this deck, as I've already said multiple times, but Poison does pretty solid versus it because Poison gets decent value versus the Barb Hut, a lot more than Fireball, for sure, and then also Firecracker, Goblin Gang, all that stuff kind of dies to Poison, so you need to be really careful with how you defend the graveyards. I think I'm going to go ahead and Barbarian Hut down here. He's not using anything like a win condition besides the graveyard, so we don't need to worry about kiting anything. But if they have a Hog Rider, you want to play it one tile higher. That's basically what you want to do. But if they don't have a Hog Rider or anything like that, there's no reason to, there's no reason to play it high. It just allows them to snipe it with Ice Wizard, Baby Dragon, whatever, I mean, you wouldn't snipe it with an Ice Wizard, but Baby Dragon. We'll go ahead and recruits here. You might go with the Poison on the Barb Hut and the recruits. I wouldn't be surprised. And then I'm going to go ahead and Firecracker here. We have everything spaced out. We have recruits on the other lane. We have Barb Hut there. So he has to really decide what he wants to... and we kind of got a split lane push going here. In fact, we could probably get a Battle Ram off here and maybe get a connection. Yeah, so we are going to get a connection on his tower. We're not going to get any additional damage because Knight is a really good unit for soaking that up. Got to watch out here for this graveyard. We got to go for the Bar Barrel to distract, and then also Goblin Gang to distract. Praying the archers are enough there because Goblin Gang's going to die. Okay, we took a little bit of damage, but we have a Barb Hut almost at full health, so, this is going to be a good opportunity for us to make a little bit of a counter push, I guess, with it. And then we're probably going to want to Barb Hut this lane again, because I don't really want to play it in that lane to where he could poison it. That would just be kind of bad, I feel like. I'm going to go for Battle Ram here. Let's get a Firecracker off. Is that going to connect? Ooh, it doesn't. That's so good. The Battle Ram's going to connect to the tower. He wasn't expecting that, for sure. Really good for us. We'll just split archers. And then how about we get some recruits down here? Nice, and he's even going to go for a graveyard with the Barb Hut up there and a poison, so really aggressive push on his end. I guess we'll just go with a Firecracker here, and yeah, he doesn't get much damage at all from that graveyard, but we're not going to get any damage on him, which is unfortunate. He just has a lot of good splash for our deck. I probably could have protected that that Firecracker there. Let's go for kind of an aggressive Firecracker here, just to try to pierce the Tombstone, so then we can go in for like a Battle Ram. I mean, he is just going to NATO it here, but I guess that's fine. We just need to make sure that, I guess, we're keeping the pressure up. It's going to be a close game. It already is pretty close. We might go for like one more Barb Hut. This will probably be our last one, I would say. But then we got to start going for offense only. He's going to easily stop that Battle Ram. Baby Dragon, though, is going to get distracted by the Barb Hut. Can we protect the Firecracker? Ooh, it's going to die to the poison. That's a bit unfortunate. I say we just keep spamming him here, because I think that... Do we get a Firecracker connection here? That's what we need. We do not. Let's keep going, guys. Guys, I think we do end up losing here. Yeah, it's going to be it. Close game, though. I felt like that one was a little bit difficult compared to the other two first games because he had so much splash. But, can't speak. Splash. Like, Baby Dragon, Ice Wizard, And then also the poison, which is a lot better than like lightning versus the deck. But maybe I didn't play it perfectly. Probably a couple things I could have done differently. Maybe early on. But I feel like at the end, you have to keep applying pressure. But yeah, like that's what I noticed. I feel like decks that just have a lot of splash are just harder to break through, especially when they have an answer to your battle ram as well, like the Tombstone. It might have even been better that much to just not use the Tombstone at all. I'm not really sure, though. I mean, either way, I think it would have been tough. Because just he had the splash for everything, and even Barb Barrel for the Goblin Gang and stuff. We could wait it out here. He's just going to Goblin Gang. Ideally, split Archers and Barb Barrel at the bridge are your best starting moves, I would say. So he's going to have a Valkyrie. I mean, I guess we could split Recruits here, because, you know, it's going to counter the Valkyrie, and then that's going to prevent him from going opposite lane, obviously. And he is going to have a Firecracker. So I guess we could go for our own here, because that might take his out. It looks like it doesn't, because it got distracted by the Valk. So we're going to have to go for a Barb Barrel. Actually, good Barb Barrel, because it's going to be able to hit the Ice Spirit as well. And he's going to freeze. Only one Goblin survived, so wasn't really that much damage. I don't know if that was the best freeze. But because he's going to have the Firecracker, we can't go for our Barbarian Hut. We can't go for a Barbarian Hut like here. We need to go for it a little bit lower. I thought he was going to go for a... it almost looked like he was setting up for a Graveyard there for a second, but he was just going in for a Mega Minion Barrel. Like, I was going to say no one uses Log Bait Graveyard, really, so that would have been interesting if that were the case. That should be good enough to stop the Valkyrie. You know, it's going to get one hit. That's not the end of the world. Alright, let's just go ahead and split, go for Recruits here, and then we need to make sure we get Archers for the Goblin Gang. And then we're going to go for a Barb Hut soon here. I just want to wait for the best opportunity to. And then we need to get rid of that Firecracker. Let's go for Battle Ram here. He's going to Valk, so that's all going to get countered, unfortunately. But look at the other lane, the Goblin. That's pretty good. And good Barb Barrel. He's going to freeze, though. Wow, really surprising freeze. So we're going to get a Barb Hut here. We're just going to play it here because I don't want him... Couple reasons why. I don't want to play it all the way up here because he might rocket it. Or his Firecracker is going to get value. Not that he'll rocket it. That's not what I meant to say. And also, because... Interesting, he's going super aggressive with those freezes. I just don't want... yeah, like... to play it in the right lane so he could rocket my tower and the Firecracker to hit. That's what I was going to say. Okay, he didn't freeze that time. If he did, I think that would have lost him the game. It would have gotten no value there. So we're going to go for Battle Ram here. Archers, just in case he wants to play a Mega Minion. It's going to kind of help out. Sometimes, guys, I don't know where that Firecracker's going. We do manage to hit it, though. It's so hard to tell sometimes. It looks like he doesn't have a rocket. I'm going to play it a little higher now. That's a juke. We are not falling for that. And he's going to freeze again. His freezes, guys, are really, really aggressive. And once again, we aren't going to fall for that juke. He is going to freeze the tower, though. So I would say at this point, we are going to activate King. I'm not worried. It's so late in the game. We just need to get more damage, and then we have this game wrapped up. Because his freeze seems to be his only spell, so I think we're fine. But man, his freezes have been really aggressive this game, haven't they? He's froze like 4 times. That didn't really get him any value at all. Towards the beginning, it got him some damage. Like, his very first freeze got him a lot of damage. And then after that, didn't really do much at all. So back to 5,900. I guess we'll go for another game here. It's been about 20 minutes, and I've only played 4 games now. As I said, the games are just really long with this deck. So, okay, we could start off with a BARB barrel, or we could wait for him to make a move. He's going to Lava Hound, so, yeah, as I said, Lava Hound is one of the difficult matchups because you don't have the best answer to their Lava Hound, and if they have good spells, it can be really annoying too. So we'll have to see how this turns out. But he's going to have Barbarians. We're going to get a Fireball off on that just because I don't know, I'd have to deal with that anyways, and it cycles me. But if he balloons now, that's going to be a bit of a problem. He's not going to, though, but the archers are going to die here, so a BARB barrel might be nice just to distract that Mega Minion. Goblin Gang, I mean, could have also been used there, but that saves 1 elixir, and if it doesn't get a hit here, then, it gets a hit. Okay, well, then, had I known that, I probably would have played Goblin Gang, but it's not too big of a deal. So, looks like it might just be regular Lava Loon here. So I feel like really the way we want to play this matchup is we have to, we got to go in a little bit of pressure, and that's just gonna, I mean, it's gonna force barbs out of him. Let's go for Firecracker here, and then archers. Hopefully that can finish off those minions. It's not going to, like I wanted, unfortunately. I think I'm going to apply pressure here, though. Nice. Firecracker's still alive. The other one. And if the Battle Ram connects, let's go. So he just used his arrows, and he had nothing for the 2 Firecrackers. That 1 Firecracker that stayed alive got so much value. That was insane. I'm going to actually BARB Hut here. I feel like there's a chance we could even defend his next lava push. So, you know, I guess we'll play recruits here. You know, I don't think we're going to defend, especially if he balloons behind. Yeah, I don't think we're defending this, guys, but we're going to make sure he doesn't 3-crown, obviously. I mean, I guess we could get archers there. Oh, well, actually, if the balloon gets pulled, and then I go for Firecracker all the way out here, and then if the other tower, I was going to say helps out, it didn't, unfortunately. So, yeah, we aren't going to be able to defend. I will apply a little bit of pressure here, though, and then get a Fireball off. Firecracker, shoot! And then Battle Ram connects. Or no, it doesn't, because he played a Tombstone last second. That's unfortunate. But look at the Barbarian. Nice. He had to go for arrows. He's low on elixir right now. We're going to have recruits in the back. Not extremely low, but we're above him in elixir. You can see here, he's leaking right now. Look at that. I just played recruits, and I gained about 4 elixir, and he still wasn't able to play anything. That's crazy. He just used his arrows, so we're free to use everything we want to right next to each other. He is going to be back to arrows very soon, though, but by the time he does, everything just got so much value. And if the Battle Ram connects, it should be Fireball for his barbs. Game. So, we managed to beat Lava Hound, and maybe that one wasn't as bad, because Lava Miner's a little bit worse, and he had Lightning. Again, back to the Lightning. Lightning just doesn't do much versus this deck at all. It doesn't, because the recruits, everything. So that's probably why. If he had a Fireball, this would have been a lot more difficult, I imagine. So, yeah, it's a pretty fun deck to play. Make sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And let me know what you guys think of the deck. I don't know if it's going to be... I don't know how much it's going to be used, but if people aren't expecting this deck, it is super strong. And the BARB Hut, in my opinion, is just... It's back, and I think it's going to be viable again. I really do. And I'll show you my GC log. You know, not very consistent, but I got a 12 win with it the other day. And then I got a 12 win. It was like, it was when the season just started. I got a 12 win with this deck right here that I might make a video on. In this deck, in my opinion, is probably the best Royal Hog deck right now. Healer's just a really, really strong card still, so this is probably what I'm planning to run next video. I'll try to push up even more, be at least at like 6K before I start recording. But anyways, thanks again, until next time.